All right. Welcome to DCT.
Episode 10.
Wow.
Episode 10. Ben, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
In National Treasure Hunters, who was more important? Nicolas Cage or his father?
This is kind of like a what came first, the chicken or the egg thing.
Gotta be the egg. Came out of a plant.
You came out of a plant.
As an egg. Alrighty, here we go. Let's get off to the episode. Caps are looking good.
They are. Yeah.
Looking really good.
Dude, Tom Wilson knocked all the maple syrup out of Alexander Carrier.
That was a big hit.
I loved it.
I thought there was nothing wrong with the hit. For Montreal Canadians fans, if you're listening, I know you're upset, and I know it's past your bedtime. Usually you guys go to bed early April, but Columbus had injuries, so you're able to play with the adults for once. Okay, but this is how adults play. You're going to get hit. It was a clean hit. Shoulder to shoulder. Did he end up hitting his head? Yes. Did Carrier have his head down? Also, yes. That's why it happened.
Yeah.
This isn't the regular season, okay? It's not soft. This is the playoffs. This is how hockey used to be played all 82 games. But now that players are making $10 million plus a year, GMs don't want this happening to their assets in a regular season game. That means nothing. But in the playoffs, you get hit hard. There's going to be riskier hits because you're fighting for something. That's what Wilson was doing. He's fighting to keep his team alive, and that hit changes the momentum of the game.
Oh, 100%.
Caps score 4 unanswered. So I know you don't like the hit. I wouldn't like the hit if Anderson hit Chychrun that way, but just because I don't like it doesn't make it a penalty.
Yeah.
And in this case, it wasn't a penalty. It's just a hit. You had your head down with the puck in the neutral zone.
That hit is why I love playoff hockey.
It's great. And I hope Carrier's okay. You never want anyone to get injured.
No, yeah, of course.
Even if it's Marchand, you don't want anyone in the NHL to get injured. Any sport, when you're playing, you want the best product on the ice. And you care about the health of the players.
Yeah.
But you got to have your head up, or it's going to happen again. So it was a good game. I'm happy with the Caps. I think they closed it out. I think that fifth game, Caps in 5.
Caps in 5.
I think I'm going to steal 2 points from you there. But they've been on a little bit of a hot streak lately.
Yeah.
So speaking of hot streaks, I know you have a player for a segment that we're doing called Heat Stroke, where we talk about a player who's doing really well. Who do you got?
I do. I got Jaden McDaniel. Not to be confused with Jaden Daniels, but Jaden McDaniel. This guy's been electric for Minnesota. He's been doing it on the offensive end and the defensive end. He's been guarding LeBron, averaging at least a steal or a block per game.
Yeah.
And then on the offensive end, he's transformed. During the regular season, he was kind of just seen as a role player. During these playoffs, he's averaging 19.8 points per game and shooting 58%. Those are both amazing for him. He scored 25 in one game, 30 in the other. He played all 82 games for Minnesota this season, and he scored 30 once. He's been great for them, and if he keeps playing the way that they do, my prediction of Lakers in 6 is looking god-awful.
But, I mean, no one predicted this. People will say they'll be like, oh, Anthony, but no, this team has been unreal.
Yeah.
Edwards has been great. He's been really team-oriented. But I didn't expect the Timberwolves to do this well.
No.
And I didn't expect LeBron to get shut down the way he has been shut down.
Yeah. I mean,
this series has been really bad for him and for his, I think, career, just the way people have such recency bias. This is almost as bad as Stephen A. Smith.
I don't think it really
It doesn't affect your career, but I think people are looking at this and asking what's going on. I don't know if he continues to play for much longer.
No, I think he does.
Really? You think he still goes?
His son is going to Arizona next year. His other son, Bryce. Hate that name.
It's out, folks. I'm going to Arizona.
A lot of people think that Bryce is better than Bronny. So
it feels like younger siblings always tend to be better.
Yeah.
In sports.
True.
When their father or mother was a big figure in that sport. I don't know what it is, but that does seem to be the case.
Yeah.
In the NHL, it seems to be the case too.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's a possibility that Braun wants to stay in the league to play with Bryce as well.
I mean, that would be awesome. Could you imagine playing with both your kids?
That would be sick, yeah.
And not even if you're not on the same team. But he does have the pull to make that happen.
He will, yes.
And if he's better than Bronny, why wouldn't you take him?
Bryce will.
But, I mean, that's a really cool story.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm all here for it. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So that'd be really cool.
So, what about you? Who's your heat stroke player?
Gotta be Dylan Strome on the Caps.
Yeah.
He's been unreal. I mean, he's just had so many great assists, and his best play has been away from the puck.
Yeah.
So just the way he's been playing that heads-up mentality, always looking for open space, which in the playoffs it's harder to find, because you're really condensing the game and making it a basic dump and chase game, and just trying to maintain possession is so hard. But he's been fantastic. He's been finding those open slots and the open players. He's got some great assists. That beautiful goal that he got off the rebound of Bevillier, I believe, just he's playing hard-nosed hockey. And he's not a rookie by any means, but the playoffs are relatively new to him. For him to be doing this well, it says great things about the guy.
Yeah.
And the Stromes have 3 professional hockey players in that one family. His brother plays for Anaheim, Ryan Strome, and then his other brother, who's in the Caps organization, Matt Strome, he's with Hershey. So they're gamers, but it's been great for him, and I'm really happy to see how well he's been doing.
It's really interesting to watch him without the puck. Sometimes just as much as it is with the puck.
He's just always moving.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask for in a player, is for him to be playing the game without possession.
Yeah.
And he's been great. So that's my pick.
So, let's cross sports here. The NFL draft just happened.
It did. There were some interesting picks.
Yes, including ours in the first round.
You're not super... you wanted them to address defense.
I did. Washington, as I said in our previous episode, their draft strategy should have been hammer the defense. Let's get defense. You can get offensive line guys in the later rounds that can be very effective. But at the same time, I'm not going to bash them for wanting to protect their quarterback of the future.
No, I mean, it shows faith in Daniels.
Yeah, Connerly is a great player. I think that he is a slightly developmental player who can turn into a great right tackle for us. But you had Eman Worry on the board.
He fell.
You had Ezeraku. Like, you had all these guys that I wanted.
If I recall, there were some people saying that he wouldn't fall.
No.
Eman Worry.
Yeah, no. A lot of people.
And he did.
A lot of people said that he would be in that 20 to 25 range.
And he should have been, in my opinion.
He should have been. And he dropped all the way to 35.
But that's a steal right there.
So, yeah, I loved it. So, speaking of steals, do we want to do our steal of each round?
Yeah,
maybe?
we're going to alternate each round. Ben's going to start us off with round 1. Talk about who we think had a steal in that round. Who do you got?
As much as I hate to say it, I really do think that the team that had the steal of round 1 was the Philadelphia Eagles. Jod Campbell at 6'3", 235, the linebacker out of Alabama. A lot of people had him going to maybe a Cincinnati at 18, 17 range.
Yeah.
He is incredibly good. A lot of people think that he dropped because he had surgery on his labrum, but he's an elite athlete. If you put him in that Philadelphia system right next to a Zach Bond being coached by Vic Fangio, that's going to be a beast in the DB room. And he excels in the run game. He excels in box-to-box. And I really do think that if you plug him into a division with a Jaden Daniels where you have to get after him, with a Dak Prescott where you do sometimes have to get after him, he's the perfect player for them moving forward.
Yeah.
So I think that was amazing value for them.
Yeah. No, that's a great first round steal. For my second round, the Arizona Cardinals got a absolute steal in Will Johnson. And he only fell because of injury bias.
I wanted him so bad.
He was available too. But I honestly don't know how he fell all the way to 47th. I don't know if teams forgot about him past the first round. You're just like, there's no way that guy's still available, and he happens to be on the board. I know he had turf toe. I know he had an issue with his knee.
That was the main thing, I
think. And those are recurring. That can come back to bite you later on in your career, but you still got to take a chance on a talent like that. He's second-ranked cornerback.
Yeah.
In the second round, he's available. Of course you take him. So I think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah.
And I think Arizona made a great pick.
Yeah. And, I mean, Arizona first round got Walter Nolan and then straight into Will Johnson. That's amazing for them.
That's a good draft year.
But moving into round 3, the steal of round 3 for me was Xavier Watts, the 6 foot, 204 pound safety out of Notre Dame. This is a guy that was literally just playing in the national championship with Notre Dame against Ohio State. Now, albeit they lost, but to get to that point is incredible. And this is a guy that is elite in terms of timing, timing the run, timing when to run to break up the pass. And I think that combining him with Jesse Bates, kind of being that mentor for him moving forward, means that Atlanta's secondary is really only going to get better. So I'm very excited to watch that.
Well, that's a good steal.
Yeah.
For my fourth round, I got Scattaboo. There's no way in my mind that justifies him falling that far back.
I mean, running back value maybe.
But I thought Saquon had bumped that. I thought we were getting back to a league where they start to value that more. I don't know. The guy's a tank. He's 5'11", 215 pounds. There's no way you can bring him down to the turf. You got to face mask this guy to get him off the ball. He's unreal. I think it's unreal value, and I think the Giants are really lucky to get a guy like that. So I think he's going to be a dog in the league.
Yeah. And combining him with Tracy in the backfield is going to be quite interesting.
But like you said, maybe it's running back value around the league and how they view that position now. Yeah. But I still think he's a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
That's my steal for the fourth. Who do you got for the fifth?
For the fifth, I'm going to go Braden Swinson.
Change it right now.
Wait, no. Nope, my bad. I forgot about Shedeur Sanders. Just like every other team did, apparently.
Even his dad.
Not his brother. He was there with him the whole time.
What a great brother.
He really is, yeah.
That was amazing. Even performed with him.
Yeah.
That was a lot, but that was amazing. That was really nice.
I really have no idea how he dropped this far.
I think it's just hate.
It's the guy threw for 4,000 yards, 74% completion, I think 37 touchdowns and 10 interceptions at Colorado this year. Now, granted, he was doing it with Travis Hunter, but those stats, the quarterback play is why Colorado was so much better this year than last.
I think this is an example of how hype can hurt you as a player.
I just don't understand Cleveland's mentality because they took Dylan Gabriel before they took him, but still took him.
You're using your brain. This is Cleveland, Ben, all right? They have Flacco and Watson, all right? They aren't thinking.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think it's a great pick for them. And I honestly think he, like you were going to say, I think he takes that starting position.
Yeah.
I don't see any competition in that quarterback room.
Maybe Flacco.
Yeah, you're right. That 37-year-old's got longevity on his side. He does. He has experience. He has knowledge. I think that, hey,
He'll probably get sacked and, die.
That's true. There is a possibility that he just turns into dust on the first play. But, as far as mentorship goes,
yeah,
that is a very different, I'll have it, but a lot of experienced players in that quarterback room.
Yeah.
With different things. Off the field issues, on the field issues, age, experience throughout the league and the sport. So there is room for him to learn.
Flacco would be a great mentor as well because they're both viewed as a prototypical pocket passer.
Yes.
So if you're going to have anybody mentor him, that's a great pick.
And he's also a quiet guy off the field. He doesn't have a lot of that. I'm not saying that Shedeur's too loud.
No.
But I don't think his personality helped him in this draft.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous that he fell that far. Cleveland got a steal.
Yeah.
Good for them.
What do you got for round 6?
For my 6th round, I have Jalen Reed.
Ooh, I like that.
He's a great safety. He follows the ball real well. He makes adjustments on the fly. He sticks with his players. He's got 5 interceptions in 2 seasons. Doesn't jump off the page, that number immediately. But
at the same time, if you've only got 5 interceptions in 2 seasons,
teams are scared to throw the ball near you.
Yeah, they're not throwing it at you.
They're not going your direction. They see you and they know that it's a bad matchup for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to affect an NFL roster in a very positive way once his career gets going. I don't think you slot him in right away, but I think he develops, and I think you're going to be sitting with an above average safety in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good pick. It's hard to find steals as you get later on in the draft.
Oh, yeah.
But who do you got for number 7?
Actually, we have Damian Martinez, the running back out of Miami. He used to go to Oregon State, I believe. This guy's a tank, though. 6 foot, 235 pounds. Seattle drafted him, which I think is very interesting because their lead back, Kenneth Walker, he has a lot of injury concerns. The past couple years, he's been out a few games at a time. Zach Charbonnet has had to step in, and he's done a great job. But running back is one of those positions that's very similar to offensive line. You can never have enough good running backs.
No.
So with a running back field of K9, of Charbonnet, and now Martinez, it's going to be kind of electric.
Yeah, adding fuel to the fire. I mean, it's just...
So he averaged 6 yards a carry at Miami, which is great. So we just want to see if that'll translate to the NFL. And at 7th round value, you really can't beat that.
No, but like we said, this draft had a lot of weird selections, and players fell. Emanwari, Sanders, where we didn't expect them to.
No.
So as a GM, if you did your homework this draft and really had your scouts going on those last days that it's available, you got your money's worth.
Yeah.
Because you're able to get some steals.
Oh, yeah.
So there were some steals this season. We're in the playoff season. We're in the draft season. Let's get away from sports for a second. Let's talk about our seasons. You got fall, you got your winter, you got your spring, you got your summer. But I want to know, Ben, where do you rank them? So we're going to go head-to-head, folks. We're going to rank our top seasons and see where they fall.
These rarely go
No
well.
pun intended. It was intended. All right. Number 4 for the worst season that this world has to offer.
Yeah.
On 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Winter.
Summer.
Well, I'm glad to see we're in agreement.
Yeah, you're an idiot. Yes, you're a moron. Why summer? Why winter? Why do you have winter as your worst season?
I genuinely hate having to walk out of the house anytime and put on 4 jackets to stay warm.
You're doing it wrong. You got to layer. You can't wear your T-shirt and your backwards hat and then a coat.
What do you think 4 jackets is? That's layering.
Jackets, okay. You don't even understand how jackets work. People at REI must hate you. Okay, look, you go in, right? You put on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Then you do an overshirt, a heavier shirt. Mm-hmm. Then if you want, you can put another T-shirt on top of that.
Yeah.
You have a long sleeve and then a short sleeve over top.
Yeah.
And then a jacket.
You know what? You don't have to do all that in summer.
But you know what you do have to do in summer? Worry about shark attacks or coconuts falling.
You live in suburban Virginia.
But
Why are you
everyone
worried
goes to
about
the-
shark attacks?
I don't have to because in the winter they don't come. They don't come out here. But in the summer they're here. And Virginia Beach.
The sharks are here?
In Virginia Beach.
Suburban
By the way, where do they go in winter? Do they just die?
No, they always got to keep moving.
Are they always? They can't go backwards though.
Can't throw that reverse on, huh?
No, they got nothing. Just neutral and drive.
I think the premise of shark attacks being your reason why you hate summer
It's not
is
the only reason.
the reason why you're stupid.
Think that has to do with my education. Did you know more people die from falling coconuts than sharks?
Wow. That's just helping my case.
No, because you would be shocked at how many people die from coconuts. It's in the thousands. No, summer's terrible. It's so hot. The first thing you do when you walk out in the summer is just go, ugh, because you're sweating.
No, I love it. You get the vitamin D
I
from
love
the
the
sun.
sweat.
I love it.
Great sweat, good sweat. No, summer's terrible.
Montez sweat.
Montez sweat.
No.
Josh sweat. That's the only sweat I like. No, summer's a terrible season. And there's no good holidays.
4th of July,
It's not
baby.
a holiday. It's not. All right, let's go to number 3. 3, 2, 1, spring.
I'm glad we can agree on
See,
something
folks,
other than
we're
your
friends.
level of education.
Spring is dog water.
It's not fun.
It doesn't exist. It's like 2 days.
It's like
Do you know what spring is? Spring is a breeze. Like that's the best way to describe
Yeah,
it. The only
breeze
good
full
thing
of
I've ever
pollen.
the only good thing I've heard about spring is like, oh, there's a nice breeze out today. That's about it.
congrats. We just had winter. You had all the breezes
You
that you
had
wanted.
all the breeze. There's no good holidays in it. There's no good food associated with spring.
No.
Chocolate, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's not even good
You
chocolate.
can get chocolate whenever you want.
It's like Cadbury chocolate,
Ugh.
which I'm surprised. I thought you would love that. You love all chocolate. Look, spring's a terrible season. I'm glad we're in agreement. Let's move on to our number 2 pick.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, fall. All righty. So we agree again.
Yeah.
Fall's a good pick.
I do quite enjoy it.
I enjoy fall, but it can't be number 1.
It's very close for me between 1 and 2. I think.
But do you know what my favorite part of fall is? Leading up to winter. The later part of fall when you get towards winter. Do you agree with that? Like, it gets more exciting as Thanksgiving gets near.
Do you consider Thanksgiving a part of fall or winter?
Fall.
Yeah.
It's not winter until the day after Thanksgiving. That's when it happens.
Then all the Christmas music comes on.
That's winter.
I really like fall because, one, it signifies that I can start watching the Washington Commanders again.
That's true. Hey, you know what? I forgot. See, it's all about vibes.
Yeah.
It's all about vibes,
It's all about
folks.
vibe.
Fall has a great vibe.
You're outside watching it at a bar, wherever you want to watch it, and you've got a quarter zip on, you've got some sweatpants on.
Patagonia.
Not my price
Wrong
range.
tax bracket.
But yeah, it's just a great, comfy feeling, honestly.
Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice for the white women.
Pumpkin patch.
A patch of pumpkins. I've never heard of a pollen patch for spring.
Oh, I have. It's all over my yard.
You shot that place up. No, it's so much fun. You can go outside in shorts and still be comfortable.
Yeah.
It's perfect, but there's no sweating. I've never sweat in fall. Now,
That's
I don't do a
that's
lot
'cause
of
you don't work out.
any labor whatsoever, but I've never broken a sweat. Fall's the perfect time. You get the good food. You get just enough family time.
Yeah.
And there's something to do. Summer, when you're a kid, there's nothing much to do.
Don't bring up summer again. We're going to go over that in a minute.
Understood. Let's go to number 1. In 3, 2, 1.
Summer.
Winter. Summer sucks. I can't say it enough. Why do you dislike winter? Give me a reason. And it better not be because of the jacket. Other than the temperature. Let's talk about the vibe of each season.
Okay.
Winter vibes?
I'm going to do something for you
Does
right
summer
here.
have a theme?
Winter lasts how long? You would say like December through
4 months, 5 months?
I'd say like end of November to end of March.
Yeah, 4 months.
Yeah.
Shoot. God damn it. 5 months.
Math is tough. What?
Is that not 5? November, December, January, February.
End of November. I'm not counting most of November. Also, if we're being
I left out March there too, to be honest with you, Ben.
if we're being technical here, a season is only supposed to last 3 months because there's 4 of them.
Not even, though. Spring's like 2 months.
Yeah, I think March is technically spring. So
No.
it would be December, January, February. That's a part of winter. My question is, let's say winter is December, January, February.
Do it.
Take Christmas out of it. Where are you putting winter?
Number 1.
You're an idiot.
No, I have
You're not
brand
putting-
loyalty.
No, you put fall over it. I know you would.
I wouldn't.
You would.
Don't do that to me, Ben. You don't know what I'm thinking. How dare you get into my head? No, so you're saying take away Jesus and winter goes,
You can have Jesus without Christmas. Well,
that's not true. He's in the name. No, forget Jesus because I'm not that big on him right now. When it comes to winter, it's about the vibe.
okay.
I like snow. You've forgotten my good friend Snow. He's the best. Snowman.
I don't like snow.
You don't like snowballs?
I enjoy a
Not
good,
the snack. I'm talking about the actual
I enjoy a
precipitation.
good snowball fight every now and then. Sledding,
sledding.
it's fun.
Think about all the things I'm forgetting. Ice skating.
You know what really sucks? Being an adult and having to drive to work in the snow.
I'll give you this. Shoveling,
Shoveling sucks.
driving,
Driving
loss of power.
Loss of power. That's a big one.
That's a big one.
So these are all things that happen
They're-
sporadically throughout the winter.
Yeah. Winter has its faults. So does everyone, Ben. But you love someone because they're not perfect. You love someone because they have trials and tribulations. They've failed you before, but they've gotten back up, Ben.
We're talking about
They've fallen. And they've at times, yes, Ben, they've wanted to quit. They've wanted to not shovel that driveway. They've wanted to not care what their neighbor thinks when you don't shovel your part of the sidewalk. But Ben, winter gets up. It says, no, I will not fall. I will not be denied. I will get up. I will keep going. I will bring you pumpkin pie. I will bring you warm, cozy hot chocolate. I'll bring you great music by Nat King Cole because it is winter, Ben. And winter reigns supreme. And you know what else it'll bring you, Ben? It'll bring you gifts. Because when you're there, when it fails, it returns. Gifts. Gifts, Ben. Spring and summer have no gifts. Sunburn. Skin cancer. Ugly shorts that people think they can pull off, but they can't. Winter is a time of love. Team winner.
I don't even know how to follow that.
You can't. Summer sucks. Winter's number one.
Let's
Tell
chalk
us
it-
what you think.
Let's chalk it up to a tie.
Tell us what you think. But winter's obviously the best season.
All right, that was very spirited, and I wasn't expecting it. Let's move on to let's get back to sports. My favorite part of sports.
I'm feeling lucky, Ben.
We're gonna talk about a new segment we like to call our gambling guarantees.
Because if there's one thing about gambling is that you can guarantee when something's going to hit.
Yeah, like I'm gonna lose all my money, but
I wish I could have taken the over on that. I think we're each going to pick a player in upcoming games that we think is either going to do very well or very poorly
throughout the week,
Tuesday through Friday. Let's do it. Let's do 2 NBA games, 2 NHL games.
All right. So
I'll let you start off with Tuesday night in the NBA. Who do you got?
Tuesday night NBA game. I'm gonna go with the Pistons Knicks game.
Okay.
So right now, Knicks are up 3-1. They've all been incredibly close games, but
which I wasn't expecting.
I kind of was. I told you it was gonna be, but you never listen to me.
No, I don't.
I think the Pistons need to win this. I don't think the Pistons need to win this. The Pistons do need to win
You
this.
want the Pistons to win this because it helps your bracket challenge.
The Pistons to win this. But if they're going to, there's been a trend in these games. When Tim Hardaway Jr. does well, they lose. When he doesn't do well, they do great. So I'm going to go with Tim Hardaway Jr. under 10 points. And the one game that they won this series, he went 0 for 8 from the field with 0 points.
This isn't how this works. You don't get to pick how someone does.
In the 3 games, he scored 19, 24, and 14. Tim Hardaway Jr., under 10 points. Lock it in.
But you don't think that's going to happen. You just want that to happen.
Dude, we're not going over reasoning. Let's move on to Wednesday's pick.
Fine. For Wednesday, I picked the Caps game.
Obviously.
I picked Montreal Canadiens and the Washington Capitals, and I have Pierre-Luc Dubois of the Washington Capitals getting 2 goals and an assist in this game.
PLD?
PLD, 3 points.
Now, can you just remind the group how many points he has so far this?
He's got an assist. But, Ben, he's suited up for every game.
That's good. I'd expect most of the team to do that.
I knocked you for not having a reason. I don't have much of a reason other than that he's been disappointing, and I want him to do better. He's been okay.
Yeah.
But he's got to get going because this is getting silly. He did great in the regular season. 66 points, I think, is what he ended with.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to see more. And he's a big body. I thought he would do well in the playoffs. And he hasn't really impressed me. So I have PLD notching 3 points, 2 goals, 1 assist. Book it. 3 points. Game 5.
Lock it in.
I'm
All right.
throwing the key away. Locked in.
Might have to find that later. We'll move on to Thursday's game.
Second NBA game.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to go into that Clippers-Nuggets game. Now, a lot of people might think I'm going with the Kawhi Leonard game. I'm not. I'm going with our former foe, James Harden. Now, throughout this series, he's been okay. But Kawhi has been the main scorer of the team so far.
He has.
But James Harden has been distributing the ball quite well.
He has.
So I'm going to go with James Harden over 15 assists. Over 14.5, if you will.
So you're betting on James Harden to have 15 assists?
Yes.
Or over 15?
I want James Harden to do what he does best at this point in his career and give the ball to other people to score.
As all prime shooters do. All right, so for the record,
Yeah.
not that you have James Harden doing poorly
No, I think he's going to do great.
at passing.
Very integral part of our game.
Don't knock the assist, Bryce. Participation counts.
You ever heard of Tyrese Halliburton?
Okay, all right, that's a fair pick. I think that out of your two, that's the more likely.
Don't knock Tim Hardaway Jr.
I'm not.
I already did it enough.
Saying,
Let's move on to Friday's game.
for Friday, I'm picking Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 6.
Wait. Isn't there a chance that it doesn't get to a Game 6?
There is a possibility, Ben.
So this might be null and void by the time.
But I got Nick Paul getting 3 goals.
3 goals?
He's getting a hattie.
Wow.
Nick Paul is getting a hat trick in Game 6 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I feel it happening.
Has anybody in this playoffs gotten a hat trick yet?
Yes.
Really? Who?
And I don't remember who. It was on St. Louis, and I want to say it was Pavel Buchnevich. I
Okay.
think Buch got he got a hat trick.
And can you tell us how many goals?
What Nick Paul has?
Yeah.
1. But there's only been 3 games, Ben. And you haven't heard my prediction for Game 5. I got him getting 5 in that game.
That's impressive.
So, no. Game 6, Nick Paul, he's a playoff performer. He was great with Vegas. He was good with Ottawa. Not in the playoffs, but he's a good, solid player. I have him getting a hat trick.
All right.
Done. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Don't throw it away.
Like a nuclear missile. You got to agree. Now, I'm willing to wager a playoff bracket point here.
Do we want to save that? Actually, no. We're going to do
I'm willing to wager.
a point?
A point.
A whole point.
I'm willing to wager
on these gambling guarantees.
On these gambling guarantees. Whoever has the majority get right, you're a fool. I paid him so much money to get a hat trick. All right, let's move into our favorite part of the segment. Final part. Hot shots.
Yeah.
Today we're doing it different. Instead of sports questions, a little bit of sports trivia, we're going to do DC-oriented trivia.
It's almost like we're a DC talk podcast.
You wouldn't even know. So, we have mumbo sauce for our DC natives, and we're going to be mixing it with our lovely, lovely aardvark sauce, which we all know I can tolerate. Can't. I want you to go your question first.
My question
Yeah,
first?
mine's a 3-parter.
Oh. I didn't realize we were...
They're easy.
Okay. My question is about the White House. I'm going to do an over-under for you.
Okay.
You know, really sticking to this gambling
I'm ready.
theme. I'm going to go, how many doors
You're a sick person.
are in the White House?
Well, they wouldn't tell us all the doors that they have in there.
How many
Known
discovered doors?
Discovered? What's in here? Bill, you have to leave. All right.
I'm going to give you a number, and you just have to tell me if it's over or under. 414.
Why do you get specific on me? Why are you a loser?
Because I'm going to make you think about it.
But how am I going to think about how many doors per square foot?
Because I know the first thought you had was 400. That's incredible. There's no way that there's that many doors. I've got to hit the under on it. But then in your head, you're like, 400, that's a lot. Maybe
No.
there.
Do you know why I'm going over?
Why?
Because there's a lot of secrets in that house.
Okay.
And you know what helps you keep secrets?
Doors.
Doors.
Yeah.
Now, if you ask me how many windows,
So you're going over?
I'm going to go over. I think there's, you know what? Dare I say, I think there's 450 doors in that house.
You're insane.
Give me the answer. What do I
There's
got?
412.
You're such a sick bastard. You have no joy in this world. 412.
412, yeah.
You
That's
sure?
crazy, right?
Wow, really?
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
And this is very important.
Yeah, what's up?
Does a French door count as one door or two doors?
I'd like to...
It has to count as two
I'm thinking it counts as
because
two.
it's a separate door. There's no way that there's not 414 doors in that house.
It's 412, brother.
Whatever.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Pour my shot. You ready for mine?
Yeah.
It's a three-parter. It's
gonna
DC-oriented.
Okay.
In the movie National Treasure Hunters...
They spent a lot of time in Philly in that movie, right?
They did.
Ugh. Poor guys.
We're going to go for the first question. For
Okay.
film locations,
Nah. Yeah?
I need you to pick 3 locations that they filmed. I'm going to give you an option of 4.
Okay.
So you can't get one wrong.
Okay.
They filmed in Philadelphia.
Oh.
They filmed in the District of Columbia.
Yeah?
They filmed in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And they filmed in Florida. Which one of these locations did they not film in?
Is it weird that I want to go DC?
It is weird.
I'm going to go Florida.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct. Bang. All right. Question number 2. What did they steal in National Treasure Hunters? The first one.
The Declaration of Independence.
Okay.
That's literally the line from the movie. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, congrats. You got it right. All right. I'm not going to give you a cookie.
So if I got 2 out of 3.
No, we're not doing a majority. Nicolas Cage's name
Yeah.
in the movie.
Ah,
First, middle, and last name.
that's not fair.
I'll give you his first, and I'll give you his last name. You have to guess the middle.
No shot.
Ben
Yeah.
Gates. What was his middle name? Ben blank Gates in National Treasure Hunters.
William.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ben. It was Benjamin Franklin Gates.
No!
Look at such great writing.
Oh, good heavens.
I thought you would have gotten that.
No.
Because
I haven't seen the movie in like 5 years. I think the last time I watched it, I was in college.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a pretty good one. Oh, you know what? I'll do the mumbo. You do the yard. You do the yard bark. That's enough. You know this one. Dude, it took off my hair.
I also just dribbled it all over the table.
That's all right. So we got mumbo sauce and aardvark sauce. Hey, when was the last time you took a shot?
It's been a little while.
It's been a little...
I'm not screwing around, man.
Did you do more in this one?
Yes.
Oh, give me that.
Damn, you messed up the table.
Are you ready?
No.
I'm not either. You're going to have to do the outro. 3, 2, 1. Have fun. It's always that first kick.
That made it a little better, actually.
Yeah, I know.
The mumbo sauce.
That's pretty good.
All right, guys. Well, I know we covered a lot in this episode, but we appreciate you for sticking around. And
No water.
no water.
No water. As in, I'm out of water.
Well, throw it back.
Dude,
there.
you just got to end this episode.
All right. Have a great week, guys, and we'll see you next week for episode 11. Peace out.
Take
DCT.
care.